Hello children, again I'm joining with you to discuss the same paper we were discussing 2021 October monthly test past paper. This is for Lyceum International School grade 6 students. Hope you watched the first video, then we discuss question number 1, 2, 3. Then we'll move to the paper again to continue the same paper. Right, so this was the paper and we discussed question number 1, 2, 3, and I want to discuss with you question number 4 onwards. Here, question number 4, children, it's about the fraction comparison. You want to compare which fraction is bigger and which fraction is smaller, right? And here, can you remember, if you have two fractions like this, let's say 2/7 and 5/7, you know what is the bigger one. 5/7 is the bigger one. Therefore, I write the sign like this, the bigger one. So then if you take it like as the crocodile mouth, what happened? So then the mouth was open to the bigger one, right? To take the bigger part, for an example. So then 2/7 and 5/7, the bigger one is 5/7. How you found the bigger one easily, children? Because you had the same denominator, right? When you have the same denominator, you don't want to worry because you can then look at the numerator value. When bigger the bigger the numerator value, then that will be the bigger fraction. So then another example I will take, let's say 3/5 and 1/5. Now what happened? Which one will be bigger? 3/5, right? So then I use it like this. Okay. Then I have, let's say 3/5 and 6/10. Now you may think, how can I compare that? Because earlier the denominators were same, right? Now it's not like that. So what should I do now? So then 5 and 10, the denominators. But when I look at the denominators, I can understand that 10 is a multiple of 5. That means this should be an equivalent fraction. Then I want to look at the numerator also. Yes, that 6 is a multiple of 3. Then I'll check whether, so they have multiplied by the same number. 3 multiplied by 2, right? And 5 multiplied by 2. So then this should be an equivalent fraction. Therefore, it is equal, right? So this is a, don't worry that way. These two are easy because you have the same denominator. But here that you had different denominators, then you think that what is the method I want to follow? That first check when you have the different denominators, children, whether you can find any relationship between the denominator value. Like I did here, then I looked at the second denominator 10 and I thought whether it is a multiple of 5 or not. Then I realized, yes, 10 is a multiple of 5. Therefore, this should be an equivalent fraction, but I cannot decide like that. I want to look at the numerator also. Then I look at the numerator, then the second fraction, it was 6. And then I can realize it is part of 3, part that the multiple of 3. Okay. So then what I should do, that I'll come to the question. So this is the background of the question. That I just explain you the background theory for this question. Now you have 1/3 and 1/10, right? You can't compare them, right? But you know they are unit fractions, right? They are unit fraction. What do you mean by a unit fraction, children? So then when you have the numerator 1, it is unit fraction, right? So then it's like this. Wait, I will show you. When you compare the fraction, you have learned all these things in the school. That's what I wanted to show you always, that if you focus the school lesson, this monthly test paper is not a big deal for you, right? And you just see But if you have the, you see, so then these are unit fraction, right? So 1 over 5, see here, what has happened, 1 over 4. So then likewise, you have learned about the unit fraction. Now, how can you that compare that? You just take that the 1 over 2 and 1 over 4, the popular unit fractions, half and the quarter. Which one is bigger? You know that the half is bigger than the quarter, right? Now, looking at this, what can you understand? If you have two unit fractions to compare, definitely the numerator, both of them, they have the numerator value 1. Now you want to compare them. How can you compare? You just look at the denominator, then lower the denominator, higher the fraction, the bigger the fraction. Is it clear? You know that why I took these two fractions, because you know half and the quarter, which is bigger, right? If you take half and quarter, you know half is bigger than quarter, right? First you write it like this. So then 1 and 1, the numerator you have the 1 and the denominator you have 2 and 4. If you have the numerator 1 and 1, they are unit fractions. And how we are going to compare the unit fractions? You look at the denominator. If the denominator is smaller, so then the fraction will be bigger, right? So then what should I do here then? Both of them are unit fraction. This should be bigger because it has the lower denominator value, right? So then the next one, 2 over 15 and 3 over 15. So both of the fractions, they have the same denominator. So then the bigger the numerator value will be the bigger fraction. So then the next one, you do have the different denominators. I told you when you have the different denominators, don't be panicked. First you check whether the second denominator value is a multiple of the first denominator value. When you take 25, you can realize that 25 is a multiple of 5. So then you see how it happens. 5 multiplied by 5. So then this is also 1 multiplied by 5. That means these are equivalent fraction. Therefore, it should be equal. Hope it is clear. Right. So then we'll move to question number, that same question, part 2. Write 48 minutes as a fraction of an hour. So an hour, how many minutes you have, children? How many minutes you have? 60 minutes, right? Out of 60 minutes, right? Now they are talking about 48 minutes, right? Out of 60 minutes, now they are talking about 48 minutes. So this is how you write it as a fraction, but you have the same unit, therefore you can cancel it. So then you write 48 over 60, right? If need, you can simplify this. How? 12 times 4 and 12 times 5, and you can write 4 over 5. But if you have kept it as 48 over 60, that is also fine. But I wanted to show you that if it is divisible, that if it is simplified, how you can do that. So then we will move to the part B. They have given again the unit fractions, children. 1 over 2, 1 over 3, 1 over 5, and 1 over 7. They have given the unit fraction. And you want to find the order of size. So start with the smallest. That means we want to arrange these fractions in ascending order. What do you mean by the ascending order? So then you are first that you are ordering, you are that listing them starting from the smallest. The smallest one should be the bigger denominator, then comma, then you have 1 over 5, then you have 1 over 3, then the biggest fraction will be the smallest denominator. Hope it is clear. So then the next one, you want to write the colored part as a fraction. First of all, that you know, in a fraction, we do have two parts. The lower one is the denominator and the upper one is the numerator. And the lower one, or the denominator, we mentioned the total number of squares we have here, that you can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That means we have 2 rows. that should be 20. Altogether, we do have 20. So then, how I can count it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is 7. The shaded 7 squares we can find. So this is the answer, right? So then we will move to question number 5. Multiples of 7. Now, first of all, tell me what are the multiples of 7, children? We will list it down. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70, 77, 84, right? So then I listed down. In the exam, you don't want to do like that, but for your reference, I did it. So then how you can list down the multiples of 7, right? That I will make it clear. Then it's easier for me to find the required value from the list now. I have the list with me, the multiples of 7. So then you want to find 2 multiples of 7 between 9 and 25. 9 and 25. How do you find? 9 and between 9 and 25. So children, you want to learn these words. Between 9 and 25. From 9 to 25. So we do have 2 different meanings. If we have between 9 and 25, these 2 numbers will be act as the border lines, right? That means you cannot consider 9 and 25. So then what are the numbers you have between 9 and 25? 14 is here and 21 is here. So then your answer will be 14 and 21. Okay. So then the factors of 36. So then again, how do you get the factors? Can you remember? Have you learned the branch method? Then 36, 1 times 36. Okay. Then 2 times 18. Then 3 times 12. 4 times 9. 6 times 6. So then you can list down the factors of 36. In the exam, again, you don't want to do. I'm just listing it for your reference. So then how we are going to get this? 4, then 6, then, 9, 12, 18, 36, right? Out of these factors, we want to write the answer. You can write any 2. That maybe you are writing 4 and 9. Any 2, right? Any 2 out of these. You want to write 2 factors. So then here you want to write the next one in index form. Children, I want to explain you something when it comes to the index form. Let's say you have a number 2 to the power 3. Now, does this mean 2 multiplied by 3? No, right? It is wrong, right? You know this is wrong. What is the correct one then, children? If you have 2 to the power 3, what does that mean? You multiply 2 3 times. Why you multiply 2 3 times? Because this is 3. Now, if you take that index number like that, this 3 we call index, right? Sometimes we call it power. And this is we call the base value, right? So then the index or the power tells us what? So the index or the power tells us to do something. Tells us how many times we should multiply the base value. This is the meaning of the index, right? Now, if you have a question like this, right? How do you write the answer? Now, A, they have written 2 times. So then how do you write? A to the power 2. Then multiplied by B to the power 3 because they have written B 3 times. A 2 times. Okay. So this is how you want to get the answer. Right. So then we'll move to part 2 of this paper. Right. Now see children. So then you have a question from the prime numbers. What are prime numbers, children? The numbers which are divisible. Prime numbers are what? Numbers which are divisible. What by what? Divisible by only one and itself, right? Only by one and itself. Any number which is divisible only by one and itself. Now, what are the numbers we do have? Can you remember? So then 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, so on, right? Now, out of this list, select the prime numbers from the below list and write. Look at this. If you have underlined 13 and 11, no, you don't get the marks, right? Because they have, no, sorry, circle, no, you don't get the marks. So then if you have underlined like this, answer is correct, but again, you don't get the marks. Why is that? Because you have not read the question instruction. Here they have asked us to write. So then how do you write? What are the prime numbers you can see in this list? So 11 and 13. This is how you want to write the answer. You can't circle or you can't underline. You just write the answer. 11 and 13. 11 and 13. Then you want to write the value of 8. First of all, you underline that value, right? So then the unit place, then the tens place, 100 place, 1000 place, 10,000 place. So then what is the value, children? So then it is in 10,000 place. So then it should be 80,000. Value of that. They are asking the value of 8. Value of 8 is 80,000. Yeah. 80,000, 789,561, right? I'll make it bigger. Otherwise, you can't see. Yes. See? So then it is 80,000. So if they ask about the place value, yes, it is 10,000. But here they are asking about the value of 8, no? So then it should be 80,000. Then write two odd numbers in between these two numbers. Now, first of all, you want to, these are the very small things which you learned in grade 4, 5 also. How do you recognize an even number and an odd number? That even numbers, they are ending with 0, 2, 3, so 2, 4, 6, 8. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. So what are odd numbers? They are ending with 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. They are odd numbers. So then you want to write a numbers that here. What are the numbers we have in between? Children, that what I am writing, these additional information, when you are doing the paper, you don't want to write like that, right? So then I'm just writing all these things for your information. You want to write only the answers. 4,363, then 64. 67. Yeah, 68 we can't get. So these are the numbers we have in between that, because when I told you when they are talking about in between, you can't get these two values. 4,368 you can't take. 4,362 you can't get. Out of that, what are the odd numbers you have? 63, yes. So then 65 and 67. These are odd numbers. So, but you can't write all three by any, you don't know, children. They have given these questions to check you. That here you have three numbers, then you may be trying to write all that. Yes, I found all the odd numbers. No, you can't write like that, because they have bolded it and they have specifically mentioned you want to write two odd numbers. So then that should be 4,363 and 4,365 or any other that you can select the pair what you want to write. Here it's about the prime numbers, the place values and odd numbers and even numbers, right? So then we will move to the next question. Hope it is clear for you. 448 masks are equally shared. First of all, you want to write the number they are talking about, right? 448 masks equally you are going to divide by 9 people. So then what you should do, children, so you go to your working column. So then 448 masks. So then you are going to divide this by 9. 9 times 4, 36. Then you have 8 remainder. So then you take this 8. For 88, how many 9s you have? For 88, how many 9s you have? So then you want to do, this is all about the long division. You just think that 88, you divide by 9, it is again 9. 9 times 9, 81, and 7 is remainder. How many marks does each person get? So how many marks? 49 marks. When they are dividing this equally, how many marks be left? So then 7 marks. Right? If 1 mask is 0.8 pounds, find the price of 2 boxes of masks. Each box has 100. Now what you want to do? Each box you have 100 masks, right? 100 masks. Each box, right? And you have 2 such boxes. You multiply it by 2. Right? Altogether now you have 200 masks, right? So then how many what is the price of the mask? 1 mask. So then that is then what you do, 200 masks you have, you multiply this with the value, it is 0.8. Yeah. 0.80. So then what will happen? We'll see how we can do this. Now you can get it like this, 2 multiplied by 100 multiplied by 0.80. When you multiply a particular decimal number by 100, children, can you remember what will happen? So that becomes 2 multiplied by, you multiply 0.80, right? You have 0.80 and you multiply it by 100. What will happen? The answer is 80. So then it will be 160, right? It is 160, but you want to use the sign 160. I repeat, each box has 100 marks and we have 2 boxes. So there should be 200 marks. 1 mask is 0.80 pounds. So then 200 marks, if we have 200 masks, you want to multiply it by 0.8. So then I segregate. Can you remember in the part 1 also we did this kind of question? When you have 200, it's easier to segregate them, 2 and 100. Then 100 you multiply by 0.8. So you multiply a decimal number by 10, 100, 1000, then it becomes 80. So then 80 multiplied by 2, it is 160. So that is how you want to get that 0.81 mask and you have 200 mask. So then it is 160 pounds. So then we'll move to next one. So write the next 2 numbers of the sequence. Before writing the next 2 numbers, children, first of all, you want to identify what they have done. 6 plus 5, right? So then 11 plus 5. So then this should be 16 plus 5. and whatever the number plus 5. So then how do you get it, children? So 6 plus 5, 11, 11 plus 5, 16. 16 plus 5, what is the answer? It is 21. Write it here nicely. 21. 21 plus 5, the answer is 26. Yeah. Which number is a square number? Now, what are square numbers? First of all, tell me. Can you remember what are square numbers? Now, you just see that 1 multiplied by 1 is equal to 1. So then 2 multiplied by 2 is equal to 4, right? So then you have 3 multiplied by 3 equal to 9. Now, what are the square numbers, children? So then how do you get that? The square numbers. Wait, I will move it up like this. Yeah. Right. So then what are the square numbers? You have 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49. So you have no members. Out of these, so then now again you go to the sequence here. What is the square number you can find? 16 is the square number you can find. Here, 16 is the square number. Which one is a prime number? Prime number, 11 is the prime number. Which number is divisible by 3? Which number is divisible by 3? For that, I would like to refer your textbook. Hope you can remember. So wait, I will take you to that page. So you want to learn how we can divide the numbers. Yes, look at this. So then you want to see whether a particular number divided by 2. How do you identify that particular number should be ending with what? 0, 2, 4. It should be an even number, simply. So then what is an even number? How do you recognize the even number? That number should be ending with 0, 2, 4, 8. Right? So then it is divisible by 3. Okay. So then let's say if it is something, wait, children, something happened to the screen. Wait. Give me a second. Yeah, I will open the 2 documents again. Give me a second. Right, this one. Right. So then divisible by 3. How did you find that? So you add the digits, right? You add the digits. So how do you add the digits? So it is 1 plus 6 plus 8 plus 3. It gives you 18. Again, you add these numbers. So then 18 is divisible by 3. That 18 is a multiple of 3. Therefore, that the number which we have also will be divided by 3. Now here they are asking in the question the same type of thing. What? The number which is divisible by 3. How do you identify? You just add the numbers. 2 plus 6, it is, if you take 26, 2 plus 6, it is 8. 8 is not a multiple of 3, so then it is out. So then 21, you add those 2 digits, 2 and 1, then it gives you 3. 3 is divisible by 3, therefore 21 also should be divisible by 3. So then I write 21 should be the answer. Okay. So then we will move to the next question. Yeah. We have 2 more questions. I think it's better to take another part. Otherwise, it will be boring for you. For last two questions, I will take another video, right? So then we will discuss uh, question number 4 and 5 in part 1. Then we move to part 2. Part 2, question number 1, 2, 3. But 4 and 5, I will discuss with another video. Keep in touch, children, because that if I discuss everything together, it will be boring for you and it's too much for you as you are little ones. So then we will move to the third video for this paper. Then we will discuss the last two questions. Okay, children, till then, be thorough with the video 1 and 2, 2021 October monthly test past paper. So then I will discuss the last two questions with a separate video. So till then, stay safe. Bye, children.